What's up? It's your boy Carcino here, and let's talk about it. Now, situations always revolve around race. It's a tense situation for a lot of people. When we were growing up, the N-word was not a fashionable word. It wasn't until the early 90s or late 80s did it come back into fashion. Before then, everybody was called brothers and sisters. You'd be like, what's up, homie? It's my homeboy. Okay, bro. You know, it went like that. It wasn't, people didn't use the N-word very frequently. Then things started to change. Different acts started to change. What's up, the Raiders? I've seen different events happen that should. I haven't had a chance to listen to Meth yet. I'm probably gonna listen to it some tonight. But Chris Rock, I'm sitting there with Jerry Seinfeld, with Louis C.K., and I forgot who else was sitting there. And they're talking about just having a conversation. And he actually used the N-word at Chris Rock, like he does all the time. It's like when Chris Rock goes, this is the N-word, the whitest N-word I've ever seen in my life. And he's laughing. People were outraged when they saw this. I mean, they were literally outraged watching Chris Rock laugh and kiki with somebody using the N-word like that. Now, hey. So, anyhow, Jerry Seinfeld was bugged. Oh, George Lopez, I think that's who was sitting there. He was bugged out. He was bugged out by the whole situation. He didn't feel comfortable at all, dog. He was sitting there. Jerry Seinfeld, who led all comedians this year, getting paid a whopping $57 million. Tied with Kevin Hart, who made $57 million. But you know Kevin Hart worked hard to earn that $57 million. I ain't see Jerry hardly break a sweat. So, needless to say, matter of fact, let me keep straight. Get it. Cops. Needless to say, when this situation was going down, and the way Louis C.K. just said it, and he was the hottest comedian in the world until he got caught with the Me Too movement and all this stuff. He was the one. Then all that came raining down on him, and it changed his whole career. Yeah, riding comedians in the cars and all that stuff. But once he was allowed to say, or even Jerry Seinfeld, like, I don't think he can do that. Like, I'm not comfortable with him doing that. So I don't take one of them streets. You take one of them streets, there's no lights, there's no chains, no nothing. You know where you end up, where you stop at? You be in the lake. The doggone lake. The road ends in the lake. And it's pitch black. I wonder how many cars are down there. I wonder how many cars are down there. If I go see a chick right there, that's how I ended up that time I got sick, having sex with the girl at the doggone beach. Cause we about to drive in the ocean. And I mean, the way he said it with the NR pronunciation. He didn't say it in a "you my homeboy" type situation. He said it with the NR. I'm in a bad area right now. I'm sorry, ER situation. Malice by it. But still, Chris Rock said he stopped using it, not for any political reason, but just because it got played out. So he's like, I just stopped using the way to make blacks feel a certain way. About a year ago, one of the neighbors out here had a party. And yours don't really use it at all. I mean, I've used it before in the past and stuff, but it's not part of my vocabulary. Now, here's the situation that I went through like a year ago, almost years ago. One of these white guys out here who grew up out here, very rich, very privileged. You know, he's out here really toe up. He's having people at his house play cards, the neighbors. And you know, he's feeling really cool because he's got a black guy around, me. And he's like, all right, you know, getting in his, you know, white guy mode. I tried to share this video online with people I know, the rest of you guys, as an educational point. This guy kept using the N-word, dropping it. He didn't mean it in a disrespectful way. He was just telling a story. With his black friend and the way they talk to each other. So I warned him plenty of times through the night. I'm like, hey, I know that's the way you talk with your friend. Hey, thanks for the donation, man. I appreciate that. Hitting that super chat. Thank you. He said, look, I know this is how you talk with your friend, man, but don't talk like that with me. You know, I had to tell him that. Like, look, dude, you got to calm that out. For real. Now, we're in his house. The party's going on. Everybody's leaving. We're still gambling, playing cards for money. So, it's just really 3 of us there. Some people probably on the deck. And it's a dude upstairs who's been locked upstairs in his room. I don't know how long he's been up there. And what he's doing up there. Who's all in there. I never seen him the entire night. But we do know he's up there. So, as I'm recording it, I'm recording the game as he's telling the story because he's going to drop the N-word again, and I know it. Because he's so drunk and messed up, he can't catch himself. And sure enough, as swift as clockwork, bang! There he goes again. He drops the N-word, and I'm like, oh my God. He just did it again. This is going to be a problem. Now this is a problem. So I stopped the camera. And then the camera goes and show you the end result of what happened that night. Immediately after this was over, I informed him because he wanted to go out and hang out. And he wanted to go to a certain spot. I called the people that I know that's going to be there, the brothers. And I'm like, look, this dude is coming. He's coming. And he's using that N-word like crazy. If you get out of line, we're going to have to correct it. But I got to get out of this house first. I'm not gonna go beat this man up in his house where there's people out there. He got a guy in there. I'm the only black guy in there. That's stupid. But if you try to explain that to people on YouTube, they're dumb. You let them get away with it. Nobody let them get away with nothing. We waited till the scenario was best. The setting was more for us. Now it's 15 brothers and about 5 dudes that were white. And he was the only one acting crazy, and he had no protection. And again, once he told his story and got comfortable with the brothers, he said the N-word, and they corrected him. And I was like, That's one. And there was no second warning. The same time he said it again, wham, wham, wham. He took a beat down. The ambulance, it was so bad the ambulance had to come get him. And I showed that in the video. That was educational. I showed you the first part of the day, and I showed you the end of the day. And I was like, you see, this is why you don't use the word. It was very educational. Yet, some idiots on YouTube decided to spin it as if I let the guy get away with using the N-word. He didn't get away with nothing. One, he never got away with it. But I took the video down because these people were very dumb. And I was like, man, y'all are making a big deal over the video and y'all taking it the wrong way just for laughter and jokes. Oh, the video's down. I took it down. Because one, that could incriminate me for a criminal act. That's the main reason it was taken down. So he was definitely out. I didn't lay a hand on him. I didn't have to. The rest of the brothers did. I already knew that was going to happen. He couldn't control himself. Because where he's from, everybody's white. And there's no borders. You know, he never had anybody told him, hey, this is not okay, dude. He figured he got money. He had a black friend that allowed him to do it, that he used to chill with. So it was all good. I'm like, one, that black friend ain't here. Two, because if he was, he would have advised you, like, look, dude, I mean, I'll let you do it, but you can't do that outside. I can't protect you. Oh yeah, man, they used his head to break a piece of the brick that was on the side of the thing. Like his head hit that and he split his head, running his damn mouth. And of course, he didn't know why he was getting beat. He had no clue. This is why I tell people, be careful. It is freedom of speech, but watch what you say. Anything you say can offend somebody. I just put a video up on Instagram with Blind Spotting. That movie. The black guy assumed that the white guy was trying to be hood. Didn't realize that the white guy was actually more hood than anybody he can ever be talking to. And once he got out of line and tried to correct the white guy, that white guy beat the hell out of him. And that's why I'm like, you cannot judge people like that. He's like, I just ran into this hipster guy. Yeah, he had the whole homeboy act and everything. That dude was so pissed off. So when Chris Rock did what he did, I know what he's saying is like, man, not on the show. Like, why would you bring that up on the show? Now I'm gonna look bad. Now the whole internet is going off on Chris Rock. Everybody really hates Chris. Like, Chris Rock just sold us out. I told you Chris Rock just sold out a long time ago. Y'all ain't believe me. Well, for Chris, with race, for him, is different. He hung around with Jerry Seinfeld. He attached himself to them. He mostly got, you know, around the Eddies and the Jerrys. He started hanging out with that crowd. And once he started hanging around with that crowd, he started choosing different narratives. Like him and Mike Epps got into a little riff. Just a little. And Chris Rock told Mike Epps that you're funnier than me. He was like, you funnier than me, I just choose better jokes. It was an insulting way to say you're hood funny, but that's all you ever gonna be is hood funny. And Mike Epps looking at it like, I'll take hood funny. Hood funny gonna keep you around. Which it does. Because see, that's what one thing these popular comedians think. They think because they cross over to the whites, like they're gonna be around. That's not true. It's not true at all. The white people deal with you because the brothers loved you. Dave Chappelle, and here's the thing, Dave Chappelle was never considered funny to brothers. He was never known as the black comedian, none in his career. His HBO popping until the Chappelle Show got popping. Then they start bringing back his HBO special he had. And people start going back watching it. But he's had a white following the majority of his career. He didn't have a lot of brothers that was watching him. They looked at him as the black suburban guy. And that's what they thought of him, that he was a black guy from the suburbs that hung out with white people. Because him and Neil Brennan used to travel together as a pack. Then when the Chappelle Show came around, that's when the brothers started dealing with him. And then that changed into something else for him. That changed into, now he's the political brother for black rights and everything. But Dave Chappelle has never been just, I'm 100% with the brothers and all this. He's never been that kind of guy. He always saw stuff for the brothers like, look, this is bull. I'm from Cleveland. I seen the racistness with the blacks and this and that, but he's never, I'm just hanging out with the brothers. No, he's hung out with everybody. Yeah, he was funny in Blue Street. He was funny in everything he's been in. What I'm trying to tell you is he's never been like the black comedian. He never had that route. He was great in Undercover Brother, Conspiracy Brother. He had a funny and some of it is funny. Like some of it is like bust your gut hole. So he's got the smart funny all the way down. Then he started doing these big Netflix shows and they just weren't funny. One was funny, one was okay, and it was just like, man, this could have been done a lot better. Bring the Pain, Bigger and Blacker, and Never Scared. were 3 of the best stand-up performances I have ever seen from a stand-up comedian. Kill the Messenger was good. It was more mature, more older, been through a lot. Comedians don't get unfunny. The things around them are just not funny no more to us. And what they find is funny now that they're older is not funny anymore. Chris Rock, he was the black comedian who crossed over to the pop. White people only liked Chris Rock once he said the joke about him when he go to the ATM at night. He ain't looking for the media. He looking for niggas. Now, when he said that, all the white people was like, thank you. See, Chris Rock even said it. I'm not a racist. Chris Rock just said it. Like, I told you I'm not racist. When I go to the ATM, the media, he's like, man, the media, Chris, is the media. Once he said that, he was a crossover success for everybody white. They didn't hear not one other joke. Once they heard that joke, they were all hooked on Chris Rock. It got him a movie deal. It got him everything. You don't believe me? Ask a white guy what's their favorite Chris Rock joke. You're like, you hear the one he was talking about when he was going to the ATM? He's like, dude, look, man. When I go to the ATM to get my money out, I'm not looking over my shoulder for the media. I'm looking for Negroes. Man, I was like, that's messed up, but that be true, though, man. That be true. Ask them. That's the only joke they remember. Now, Bigger and Blacker was funnier than Bring the Pain to me. And to a lot of people, it was like 3 times the amount of Bring the Pain. But except for he didn't get the white folks what they wanted. He gave the brothers what they wanted for sure in Bigger and Blacker. Bigger and Blacker was, my goodness, that was monsters. He was killing the comedic game. But he didn't have those jokes today. It's like, well, I like Bring the Pain more. I'm like, now Chris Rock's first stand-up was not Bring Pain. His first stand-up was actually an amazing piece of work. I mean, it was amazing. Oh, Bernie was outstanding. He is just drop dead hilarious. There's no, you ain't no getting around Bernie. If you white, black, Mexican, He's the type of person that's polarized. I ain't scared of none of you motherfuckers. Now, many times you see me, right? You know you're black when you can put fingerprints on charcoal. You know what I'm saying? Now you a real black motherfucker right there. If you can put fingerprints on charcoal. I started to wear some blue contact lens and really mess y'all up. Everybody gonna tell him what to do. Everybody tell him about do a little son. Who you with? I've seen him over there looking like a sissy with a bag of dicks. Yeah, I mean, Bernie was in your face funny. But Chris Rock stand-up only got stronger. From his first performance on Saturday Night Live, on HBO, his first special was hilarious. He was hilarious. His jokes it was like, he was a little unpolished. And for some people, that was their first time seeing Chris Rock on stage. They saw him in movies before they saw him on stage. They saw him in CB4 before they seen him do stand-up. Period. Next thing you know, you saw him on TV doing all this stuff before you ever saw a Chris Rock stand-up. So when he did the stand-up, it was like, wow, this dude doing stand-up too. For some of the other people who really didn't know him. And it was hilarious. And when he talked about the Rosa Parks situation, civil rights, and how blacks had to ride the back of the bus in the 60s, he was like, Jesse Owens went there and won in the Olympics in the 1920s. He was like, a brother was in the back of the bus in the 1960s. He went to the Olympics and won stuff. I wouldn't have won nothing for America. He was like, back in the 60s, we were in the back of the bus. In the 1920s, we won the bus. He was like a white dude just jump on your back and be like, go on to 5th Street. Holding a piece of, he like, we won a bus with a conveyor belt, chasing a string, holding a piece of chicken. People love to do stupid stuff like that. I bet you I say that to your face and nothing will happen to me. I bet you $5,000. Somebody said something like that. People love stupidity. They love to be in a fight. That's the kind of guy that go to a club and want to fight somebody when they drunk. I'm like, dude, you got dressed up, all these women in here, and you talking about fighting. I'll be like, fight for what? What are we fighting for? I mean, he didn't try to address it. Jerry Seinfeld did more than him. Jerry was like, hey, man, look, I don't know if that's cool. You know, like, I don't think he can do that. Like Jerry looking like, hey man, I don't know about that. Y'all going too far. Now if y'all want to say that in the back room, that's cool. But for Chris, that looked bad, you know. He ain't try to check it or nothing. Well, I don't know. Rock just going through it right now. Because right now the brothers are real pissed off with Chris Rock. Of course they said it. He said it with the ER pronunciation and everything. He wasn't playing no games when he said it. You knew exactly what he meant and everything. He didn't mince no words there. He knew it was going down for real.